I've got this tea cozy. I love a tea cozy. In fact, I've written a tea cozy book, but I did it as a majority pattern contributor. I don't have it on my shop, but I love tea cozies. But if you know me, you go, Emma, you don't drink tea, which I don't. I drink a lot of coffee, shouldn't, but I love teapots and I love tea cozies, and we still have lots of teapots and tea cozies in our house because other people drink tea. I have designed some tea cozies specifically for friends. So there's one tea cozy I make for my friend Susie, and there's another one that I make for my friend Lindsay, and I probably make them a tea cozy every year, every 2 years, because tea cozies get really used, and if you leave them on, they might need a little bit of a renewal. So I make them their tea cozies. What I'm going to do today this is a textured tea cozy. I've created that. I'm going to put this up as a free pattern on my blog this afternoon. So I'm going to write it up this afternoon. I'll put it on my blog, and you can make this. It's just 2 squares, which I've attached at the top and at the bottom. I haven't put a button on this one, and I've gathered at the top, and that will enable you to make your own tea cozy. So it's really easy. I've also made some tea cozies which I'm going to be in the next few weeks putting up for sale in the shop. This one's for a little mini tea cozies. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think actually not pom-pom but puffs. But I'm going to have these available so you can, if you're not a crocheter and you still follow me, you can buy a tea cozy from me that's handmade. And this is a little one, and I'm going to have some for a 2-cup tea cozy, and I'm going to make some which are large for a 6-cup tea cozy, which is what this is. So you're going to have the ability to make everything that's here. I'm going to put this pattern up. It should be, made really quickly. There is a really funny thing that Jane puts in the book, actually, which has happened to me. I think it's Billy Connolly who says the definition of like a cultured man is somebody left alone in the room who doesn't put a tea cozy on their head. If they're left in a room with a tea cozy, the ultimate feeling, if there's no one there, is that you'll put it on your head. I have made tea cozies for people who then have thought that I didn't finish them properly, and that they were hats that I just left holes in. They were tea cozies with 2 spaces in, but actually they thought I'd made them a hat that was badly finished. Anyway, that's actually happened to me. So they do look like bobble hats, but here we go. What you need to make your puffs, as they were, are actually much thicker needles than you would think. These are a 10mm needle. If you haven't got large needles and you mostly work on a 3mm or 4mm needle, or you don't have needles because you're crocheting and you don't, have a look for some thick felt tip pens in your house, some thick crayons, even some handles of brooms, much thicker than you think you'll need, and that's 10mm, and that's ideal. To start off by cutting. This is about 30 centimetres. I'm telling you, but you just length of yarn. I've used yellow because it kind of looks quite like a little centre of a flower. So this is a little mustard centre, and cut some of those because that'll help you in the long run. I'll just pop that on there. And then, I just don't know which one. I'm going to go with, no, I won't go with the pink. I'll try and use a blue because then it'll contrast with my jumper. So what you need to do, have some scissors ready, and this is going to feel like a bit of a fiddle, but it isn't. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to clasp the yarn, clasp the two needles together. I think that if you've got wooden 10mm needles or a wooden large thick pencil, this will be easier. I'm just saying, I don't have wooden ones, I've only got these ones, but I think wood would be easier to do this. Clasping this with my thumb, and then I'm going to cover both needles about 20 times. I've covered where I've started, okay? And I'm just going to cover it with my thumb, okay? And then I'm going to take, you know, this looks like a really simple tutorial. When I tried to make it, I realised it's like, oh, it is simple, but doing it on camera is going to be really difficult. Anyway, essentially slip in the yarn at the bottom and pull it over the top, and like you would make with a pom-pom, you're going to pull it up so that you've got it in between your needles, and then you're going to knot it. I'm going to try and do this mid-air for you so you can see. I'm going to do one knot. I would suggest that you put this down on the table, but I've just done one knot, and at that stage, with one knot, pull it off the needles, and very carefully and slowly goes down. And I am going to put it on the table, and then immediately pull that first knot and make another knot. Now, so I've really secured that. If you want to be really secure, then I would suggest you take your yarn round the back and pull it round to where a knot was originally, and do a second knot. One, I'll do two just to make it secure, and then cut off your yarn, and there you have it. Aha! So we've got two now. I'm just going to pop the pin in just to show you, and I might put pins in just to think about where I might want my little flowers, and I would use the yellow tails to sew them in. So I've done two. You see on here I've done green as well, so that was okay, I think. If you can, when you're making Tea Cosy, you can either use your most precious yarn or use a yarn that you can put through the washing machine. So this is Starcraft Special DK in warm grey, which is a new colour, and so I've just put two on there. I know, thank you for leaving nice comments, you're so kind. So yeah, it's I'm really thrilled with that. I'm going to use another colour now. This is Debbie Biss Cashmerino. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Maybe two more, I think, yeah. And then, as I say, put the yarn underneath, pull it through, and then bring it all the way up. So, a bit like you would with a pom-pom, capturing it in the centre. I'm going to put it down now because I'm showing you how to do it mid-air. And I'm going to do one knot, and then when I've done that one knot, I'm going to slip it off the needles or the large pencils or the crayons, and then do a second knot. And there you go. Pull this round, I think, and then you could, if you wanted to make it extra secure, take your tapestry needle and weave in the end. So there you are. That's kind of a nice colour combination. Just put those in with pins now, and then I can secure them eventually with my needle in a bit. So yeah, that's how we do it. As I say, I'm going to put this up as do the tea cozy as a pattern, which I'll write up this afternoon. I will also try and do a bit of a photo tutorial for you on how to do this, so it's a reminder. Great for using up yarn bits and pieces. You get lots of little, it sort of breaks my heart when you've got lots of little bits of yarn, and you can just make up a few of these flowers, decorate the end of a scarf perhaps, or the edge of some gloves. Be great, absolutely lovely. And I think they are really pretty and attractive. Please do leave a comment on the Instagram and share. I'd love that if you could. If you fancy and you would like to see some more of these few tutorials, please buy me a coffee on the blog in the shop section and have a look there if there's anything appeals to you. I think next week, if I have time,